pressing out the wheel bearing. Goes. She's out. Changing the wheel bearing on this C-Max at the moment. So I've got the hub off, pressing the bearing out, got the new bearing to go back in. Now these go in one way, got a magnetic strip on the back and not on the front. So the magnetic strip picks up on the ABS sensor. So you have to put this in the right way round, and that reads off of that magnet. So if you put this in the wrong way round, you're buggered. That has to go in first. Then when the sensor goes back in afterwards, it's sitting behind the bearing, so it picks up on the inside of there. So now I've got to press this back in. So just get that started in now. Just gently tap that in to start it. Really gently, you don't want to be smacking these too much. It has got a magnet on the back. Doing this one-handed, but basically all I want to do is get that square. So it's just started, and it looks about level with the surface of there. Then when I put it back in my press, it will just push straight in. Right, there we go. Let's get that pressed in. So we've got it all set up. Just pressing the new bearing back in now. There's the new bearing going in and the old bearing on the top. It's exactly the right size for pushing the new one in. Usually you can press these all the way in without getting the old one stuck. That's it. Release the pressure off the ram, hopefully. Yeah. That one's out. Check this one's all the way down. Looks good, so you've got to get your circlip back in the top. Flip it over. Check the reverse side. As you can see, that's all the way home. It's gone right in. So we're good to go. We'll get that clip back in. Right, just got the circlip back in. All I like to do, once it's in, give it a tap each side with hammer and screwdriver or chisel or something. Just push it into place, make sure it's locked in and it's gone right home. And that way you know it's seated properly and it's not coming out. Now all I've got to do is get the bearing race off the inner hub section, and then we can press that back into there. Job done. Get it all back on the car. So I've cut a slot into this with the angle grinder, a thin cutting disc, and the heat from which has actually also released it. So what I've got to do now is just whack that off with a hammer and chisel, and that will go. A bit awkward with one hand, but let's just give it a set. There it goes, look. Two-handed job. There we go. She's off. So that's off of there. Now press that back in the hub, get it all back together. Right, so it wasn't just the heat that released it. I was pretty accurate with my cut. Probably just about made out there, right thin. And I've just literally taken away the surface down to the surface of the metal there. So I cut through. The plan was to cut right through there. And you can see that crack down the centre there, where I literally just ground through it. Right through the centre there. It's cracked. There's a hairline crack right through it where I've just ground through. So the plan was to grind through and then whack a chisel down it and split it, and then it come off, but it actually released itself, a little bit of heat, and removing that very fine bit of metal there actually released it anyway, and it come off beautifully. So yeah, job's a good one. Let's get the rest back together. Right, so I've just done, it's got it started. I've got it started. We're just pressing the centre in now. I've got this supporting the inner race of the bearing, because otherwise as this comes down it can push the inner race out, blowing the bearing apart, which means the new bearing you've put in is now knackered. I don't want that. So you support the inner race so that it pushes that centre through it and don't push it out. There you go, that's in. Right, so hub's on. All we've got to do is do up the nut that holds it to the leg, reconnect the drive shaft through the centre, get the bottom ball joint back in, put the track rod end back on for the steering, do that up, ABS sensor back in the top of there, and do up the drive shaft, and that's done. Well, nearly back together now. Caused me a few issues, this thing. Actually, the shaft was seized in initially. I had to beat the hell out of it to get it out, which slightly mashed from the end, which damaged the thread. I ended up having to dress it up with a file just to get the thread back so I could get the nut on. But yeah, we're all pretty much done there. Bottom pinch bolt's done, main bolt's done up there, hose is back in there, back on, and the sensor is just going back in now. Get that settled down, bolted up, get the caliper back on, and we are there. Right, she's now all done back together. Calipers on, discs on, lower pinch bolt, main bolt to the legs done, flexi hose back in, ABS sensors on, and track rod in. All done. Just get the wheel on and get this one out, get my next job on. This has put me way behind. Right, thanks for watching. I'll catch you all soon. Bye for now.